Good morning, everybody. Today's lesson is how to draw a cylinder, which I know sounds not that interesting. However, you're going to be learning in this unit how to draw, and there's something called cylindrical or circular perspective. If we were going to draw anything that is comprised of cylinders or circles, we need to know how to represent that in a drawing by with different heights or from different perspectives, right? So I had everyone do a 15-minute drawing of a bottle to the best of their ability, and chances are, for some of you, the bottom of the bottle probably looks a little bit flat. And it might not be for everyone. I haven't had a chance to review those drawings yet. But the fact of the matter is, the bottle is made of a couple cylinder shapes. When we draw a bottle, we need to draw a couple cylinders, and then there's a transition in between. It's either a hemisphere type shape or like an egg type shape transition between the two cylinders. I gave everybody one of these empty tape rolls, and if you look at this tape roll and you see how I turn it, the perspective or the shape of this circle and this circle changes. Then this circle changes, depending on how high or low I am. And this line, or this side, is always completely parallel with this side. Not so easy to do, right? So what I want you all to do is take your glass bottle and move it onto the flat part of your table if you have one out. We're actually not going to use that glass bottle now for the rest of the class period, so at the end of the class period we're going to put it away. So, and then I want you to lift your desk. So obviously you're not going to lift your desk with your glass bottle on it. I want you to move your glass bottle to the flat part of your desk and lift the back of your desk. Now you guys, it's going to be the opposite because that's the only downside. I know. Okay. And just lift it just a few inches.
This was
Okay. The next thing you're going to do is sit in your seat. So if you're a righty, your sketchbook is at the right side of you, and if you're lefty, your sketchbook is slightly on the left side of you. This will allow for a flow of movement with your arm while you're drawing. So notice, my sketchbook's at the right of me, and I want to be able to swing my elbow back and forth, so I really get like a free moving line. Okay? And what I want you all to do is practice drawing a line that is parallel with the sides of your page. Now, if your sketchbook is crooked like this, it's really going to be hard to draw a straight line. So you want to make sure that the edge of your sketchbook is parallel with the edge of your desk. And if you're a righty, your sketchbook's on the right side of your desk. And if you're a lefty, that your sketchbook's on the left side of your desk. Then just take a blank piece of paper and draw multiple light lines. Just like that. Now this could be really hard to do if you have a hard grip on your pencil. So if you're finding that your line is kind of like this, you're probably holding your pencil too hard. So you really want to hold your pencil lightly and allow your elbow to swing back and forth to make a light, straight line that's parallel with the side of your page. And keep practicing that until you have a nice straight line. Okay. Next thing I want you to do is draw a circle. What? Are we in pre-K again? Okay. We probably have learned to draw a circle like that. What I would like you to practice doing is hold your pencil like a conductor, very light in your hand, and as lightly as you can with your soft pencil, make multiple lines until you've created a circle. Again, it's important if you're a righty to have your sketchbook on the right-hand side of you, and if you're a lefty to have your sketchbook on the left-hand side of you. Drawing in this way really helps you improve your drawing skills. You might be surprised to find out that when we get into Art Major AP, those drawings that you see that are maybe in the hallway that look perfect, they really took a lot of time and there were multiple lines in order to create that perfect line. What absolutely did not happen with any of those drawings is that a student were just to approach the page and get every line correct the first time that they put it on the page. So any advanced drawing is representative of multiple layers of line making until the perfect line is resolved. Okay. So keep going until you have kind of like a perfect circle. Now look at this. I have a lot of circles here, but see how this circle kind of looks like a flat tire? It was as good as I could make it, considering the way I was holding my pencil and considering it was one line. But this one looks a little bit more geometric. If I was towards the end of my drawing, I could erase all the incorrect lines and leave the best line or the best group of lines. Okay. Next, we're going to practice ellipses. So, ellipse isn't an egg shape. It would represent a circle on a cylinder at an angle. Look at this line right here. This is a circle, and as I turn it, the ellipse gets more and more closed. See that? This is a cylinder in different perspectives. you were all looking down on your bottle. So believe it or not, there was a slight curve to the cylinders that were in your bottle, or the circles that were in your bottle. A slight curve. No flat edges. So when we create an ellipse, we still hold our pencil lightly, and we try to make an ellipse that in two directions is symmetrical. It's not easy, you know. It does take some practice. So what I want you to do is, whenever you're running out of space, switch to a fresh page. And practice with me your ellipses. Your drawing hand shouldn't be rested on your table. And your page or your sketchbook should be parallel with the side of your table. You might feel like you need to draw a lot of them in order to get a good one. Once you feel confident in that shape, and you might not today, you might feel like you've got to practice outside of class, or you might feel like, you know, you'll have to practice a little bit tomorrow. I want you to think about height. If this is your point of view, let's make an eye. Okay. The higher I go on my page, the more of the bottom of the ellipse that I can actually show. The lower I go, look, this is my point of view. I can't really see the top or the bottom of the ellipse, but look at these lines. See how they're curved? The top and the bottom line is curved slightly. It's still not flat. I go lower, and look at what happens. If this is my point of view, and I go lower, I see more and more of that top ellipse. And what happens, okay, I'm going to try to turn this neck a little. What happens as I get lower is this curved line is actually parallel to this curved line. Does that make sense? So watch this. If this is my point of view, and if I have an ellipse that's right at my point of view, it's going to look like this. You're not going to really see the top or the bottom. If you don't know what I mean, take your ellipse and put it right in front of your face like this. Now, slightly move it down. See how now you can see the top and it becomes wider and wider. Okay? And eventually, if you're looking straight down on it, it's really almost circular. Then move it above your eye level, higher and higher. And see, now you really see the bottom. You can see the entire circle and bottom. So, why does this matter? Well, you could draw anything. What about light fixtures? What about those light fixtures that are in the ceiling? What about you're doing a figure drawing, you're drawing somebody sitting in a stool, right? Our stools are circles on top of each other. Your figure drawing could be perfect, but if your stool is out of perspective, it throws off your whole drawing. But in reality, it's easier to draw a stool in correct perspective than it is to do a figure drawing. So some people just miss that step. So take your empty tape tube and hold it way above your head again like this. And what I want you to do is draw 2 ellipses and 2 straight lines and see if you can draw what you see towards the top of a sketchbook page. I'm going to do it and then you try it. Two ellipses. Can I see the bottom circle or the top circle? Bottom. And then I'm going to erase the line that I can't see. There's my perspective. I'm going to pull it down a little lower. Those ellipses become a little tighter. Still, I can see the bottom and not the top. I'm going to pull it down even lower. Now I can see the top but not the bottom. So underneath my eye, I'm going to draw an ellipse, and what that ellipse looks like, I'm going to draw a pair of ellipses, and what that pair of ellipses look like, and what my cylinder looks like when I have it below my point of view. So what you're going to do tomorrow is you'll come in, grab one of these. Our substitute will give you a worksheet that asks you to draw 5 cylinders and your point of view. You're going to fold it in half, the paper in half, and that's your point of view. It'll be step-by-step instructions. You probably will have to practice ellipses and straight lines before you do it. And then I'm going to have you draw 5 cylinders in correct perspective.